Jimmy, I'm just gonna say it. I gotta let you go.
You were just fired.
I was let go for liability reasons involving insurance.
The one-armed bartender.
You need to show a little respect. Charlotte Motor Speedway. I know how they move the money.
The only guy who knows anything about blowing up real bank vaults is Joe Bang.
I am incarcerated. Yeah, we got a plan to get you out.
The Coca-Cola 600 is the biggest race of the year.
We need a computer whiz.
I know everything there is to know about computers, okay? All the Twitters, I know them.
Welcome to the Coca-Cola 600.
Now, how many yards away is the vault?
20 yards. I don't know, maybe 30.
Is it 20 or is it 30? We are dealing with science here.
They're gonna know what we want them to know.
My life of crime is over.
That is massively stupid.
It's been handled.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
That looks like it hurt.
I want everything on Jimmy Logan.
I'm about to get naked. So no bacon. I said no bacon.
You Logans mustn't be as simple-minded as people say.
People say that.
Would you give me my arm, please?
Is it this one?
Hey guys.
Yeah, Quaid, thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me back, man.
I think we impressed you.
I think you did. I was blown away last time I was here.
Were you on this? You were not on this stage last time,
Not on this
right?
stage, no. This used to be, but I...
Couple blocks
Yeah,
away.
it was a couple blocks away, but I went to NYU, which is like Tisch is right over there, and yeah, there we go. But I remember this used to be the MLB Fan Cave.
Before that, it was a Tower Records.
Yeah.
But funnier is the MLB Fan
Well,
Cave.
I remember I would just, because it was like this really, it looked like such a fun room where like there's all these like, games being like just on the walls and like fun couches and snacks, but nobody could get in here. Like no one could occupy this space, so there's all these NYU freshmen outside just like, can we come in? And nobody would let you in.
I always saw like
And now I'm here, I'm very excited.
tourist families in the MLB Fan Cave, and there was like one excited dad who was just watching like 10 TVs at one time.
Yeah, watching 10 games.
And 3 kids like, are you serious? We're in New York City, Dad. Can I do this? Like,
Yeah. No, it was, but I'm just like, I finally made it. I finally made it into the MLB Fan Cave, so
Right,
I feel
you
really
did.
good. I
You
feel
did.
really good, guys.
Let's talk about Logan Lucky. I love this movie. Steven Soderbergh
love
is
it
back,
too.
and it is so much fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to work on, and I saw the final cut of the movie recently, and I'm blown away. I love it.
So let's go back to the beginning. How did you get the part? Did they call you? Did you audition?
No, I didn't audition. I found out in a really weird way. I was at a party, and then somebody came up to me, and they were like, "Hey, you're gonna be in the new Steven Soderbergh movie," and I was like, bullshit. This is not happening. There's no way this doesn't happen. So the next day I called my manager and I'm like, there's probably no truth to this, but am I, I heard that they want me for this. And he was like, okay, I'll check. And then 15 minutes later, I get a text saying, yeah, they want you. You'll have the script later today. I read it and I said yes. This never happens. This never happens. It will never happen to me again. I promise you that. But because I was like, whoa. But I feel really lucky to be part of it.
Had he seen you in vinyl or something?
I think maybe I heard from somebody. I think he saw me like in a photo in like a tabloid or something, and I looked particularly white trashy, and I don't. So hey, I'm just lucky to be here. I'm very happy to be here.
You didn't ask him when you were on set?
No, well, I met him the first day. He had us all out to like a dinner, and I was like, thank you. Like I still thought maybe he meant somebody else and it was a total mistake that I was there. And I was like, thank you for having me on your movie. I was really nervous. And he was like, yeah, I think, tomorrow on set we'll have you audition. And I was like, is that a joke? Please let it be a joke. Because I wasn't sure if he was serious. But yeah, I was just, the whole time I was like, okay, this is great.
Tomorrow on set, we'll have you audition.
Tomorrow on set, we'll have you audition. Didn't happen, but I was almost convinced it might.
Tell us about your character. There's the great moment in the trailer where you're talking about your knowledge of computers.
Yes.
But your character has wonderful moments in this film. Everybody is funny, but you are the sort of broad comic relief in the film.
Yeah. It's weird. There's kind of a redneck totem pole in the movie, and me and the actor Brian Gleason, we play Daniel Craig's younger brothers. We're at the bottom of that totem pole, which is really fun. No, his name's Fish Bang, and I'm just happy I got to say that out loud. And he's the two, him and Sam are two. They're ex-meth heads who have recently converted to the side of good, and they need a moral reason to pull off this heist. And they give it to them. They find their way into that heist.
But doesn't something change? And I don't want to give anything away, but the moral reason, doesn't it get all fuzzy for them because of a date change or something?
Yeah, there's
like
a date change. Yeah, there's a they protest a little bit in the movie because I think they see themselves as kind of Robin Hood types, even though they're not at all. They just need some reason to start robbing again. Because there's a thing they used to do in their past a lot.
With their older brother,
who's
Joe. Like a bombs expert.
Bomb expert, Joe Bang. Yes.
Yeah. What was it like playing for lack of a better word, a redneck?
It was it was so much fun to be able to play a character like that. Like in order to kind of get the voice down, we watched this documentary called The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. It's like a documentary produced by, I think, Johnny Knoxville. Yeah. And it's about this outlaw family. They're called the Whites, and they're in West Virginia in Boone County, where the movie's set. And it's a very specific regional dialect, so we had that for inspiration. There was a kid in it named Derek White, who was around my age. So I was like, okay, this is what a kid my age in this particular place in the world would sound like. So I tried to mimic him as much as possible. But it was just so much fun to play a character who especially looks nothing like me. Right. Like I got to pick out my own tattoos. I had the wig, the hat. It was really fun.
It's actually true. This is true, and I don't know if this is a good thing or not, but I knew that I was interviewing you, and I watched the movie. And when the movie was over, I went, wait, who was
Yes,
Jack Quaid?
I'm so happy you said that.
Who was he? And then I had to look it up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, of course that's who he was."
Right? Yeah.
Not for any particular reason of who you are.
That's. I'm really glad you said that. No, because it was weird. I remember I would take photos of myself and send it to my friends, being like, "Isn't this so weird? Like it looks so crazy." Then I sent it to my girlfriend. She was like, "You look so sexy in that outfit." And I'm like, "You're the one person that thinks that. You." Okay, now I feel kind of weird about how I look. You want this guy, clearly.
She's like, I'm just trying to egg you on, sweetheart. I just want you to feel good about yourself today.
I was literally sending her photos of like, they put this stuff in my teeth to make it look all gunky. It was like ugh, like just black goo. And she's like, oh, so great. You look awesome. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah.
Is it tough to sort of bring, obviously the film is a comedy, but is it tough to bring when you're playing a character like this that represents a certain place and a certain type of person, do you worry about presenting a bad image at all? Or
that was a big thing with me. I didn't want to be making fun of like who that person was. I wanted to just kind of play him as realistically as I could, and just kind of, I wanted to be the character, not like make a comment on who that character was. You know what I mean? Yeah.
When you get on set with Steven Soderbergh, what is it like working with him? I've heard he moves extremely fast.
Extremely fast. I've never seen anyone do this before in my life. He was not only the director, he was the DP, so he was filming you. I've never had it be like, okay, action, and he's right there in front of the camera. But then he would take the footage that he shot that day, go to the hotel we were all staying at, where he had a room that was his editing suite, upload the footage, and then start editing what he shot that day the same day. And then occasionally he would have us over and be like, let's take a look at the movie. And I would just see the movie, but with chunks missing, and the chunks that were missing were just things that we hadn't shot yet. Wow. You know? And I remember there was this one time where I was there and I was watching it, and I said, oh, that was this morning. That was me at 9 a.m. and this is me at 6 p.m.
Does he sleep, or is
I don't know. I don't think so.
Do you shoot normal days, or do you shoot shorter days?
Shorter days. I think like we still had the same like overall schedule, but every day was just shorter because he works so fast, and when he gets what he wants, that's it, you know? So it was great. We'd wrap by lunch sometimes, just get to go home. It was by lunch. So it was like half of a day of filming, basically. Yeah, he cut it in half. So that was crazy.
And how does he, you know, were you on set? You're in most of the movie. Are you on set for like the majority of shooting, or does he still kind of break it up very specifically?
I was peppered in throughout. Yeah, I think I had like 10 days of filming, but you know, it'd be like I work and I have a couple days off and then I work. So I was just kind of around. But yeah, I got like on my days off, I just hung out with the guy that plays Sam Bang, Brian Gleason, because it was just like, there's never a moment where we're not on screen together. And he was just such a great guy. I would just like, yeah, just get to hang out with Brian every day, explore Atlanta, go to movies,
You guys
whatever.
shot in Atlanta?
We shot in Atlanta, yeah.
Right. But you ended up shooting at Charlotte Motor Speedway, didn't you? Or is it a different speedway?
It's Charlotte Motor Speedway in the movie. For some of it, it's the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And then, I think I'm getting that right, or the Atlanta Speedway. And then for like a lot of the big race stuff, it is actually Charlotte. It's like kind of a combination of both. But I think what I shot, I was just in some tunnels. There was like a lot of tunnels. Yeah.
I asked that question. I was like, well, there's actually no shots of you in the speedway.
No, I'm never in the speedway, but I'm in a lot of tunnels. So if you like people in tunnels, go out and see Logan Lucky. Yeah.
Have you has the film screened for anyone in West Virginia or anything like that, or do you plan on like hearing what people think about it?
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what people in West Virginia think about the movie. I don't know. I don't think it has. I know Channing Tatum went on kind of a cross country tour with the movie, but I'm not quite sure.
And your older brother Joe Bang is played by Daniel Craig.
Yes.
What's it like working with Daniel Craig?
He's the best. He's
really funny in this movie.
He's like the nicest, goofiest guy in real life, and he was having so much fun on this movie. And I don't know, like I give my left arm to work with him again, or right arm, whatever, a limb. I give a limb. I don't know why I'm being specific. Yeah, he was amazing. He like took us all out to like a concert one night, which was one of the best nights of my life.
What'd you go see?
We went to go see, I had never heard of them before, but Car Seat Headrest.
Oh, great band.
They were so good, and now I'm a huge fan. But was
Daniel Craig a Car Seat Headrest fan?
He was.
That's amazing.
He was having so much fun. He's like, come on, we're gonna go see Car Seat. He was so pumped. Yeah, and yeah, it was great working with him.
I'm really blown away that James Bond is a Car Seat Headrest fan. It's kind of cool.
Exclusive, guys. We got it. Yeah.
So were you surprised when you started working with him that he was so funny and kind of open, considering he never gets to play characters like that?
Yeah, well, I just heard that he had a really great reputation, so I assumed he'd be nice, and he was more than nice. But he was such a goofball, and I think that's what surprised me. And I loved that. I love seeing that side of him.
This cast is stacked. Like every face in the movie is someone that you recognize or know. There's really no one left out. Like even for a moment where someone shows up for like 30 seconds or something, you're like, oh, that's a super famous Oscar winner in this movie for 30 seconds.
Exactly. Hilary Swank doesn't come until like a little later in the movie too, but it's Hilary Swank. Yeah. It's awesome.
Briefly too.
Yeah.
Who were you most surprised that you had scenes with on set? Did you have any scenes with a lot of the other people? If I'm remembering correctly, maybe it was just Daniel, Adam, and Channing.
Yeah, it was the yeah. I didn't have any scenes with Riley or Hillary. No, it's kind of the dudes, the heist dudes, the dudes in the heist crew. But there was I don't know, it was surreal getting to film with them. And I don't think it hit me till I saw the movie. I'm like, oh, I'm in a scene with all these people. Like, that's amazing. I feel this is awesome. They're so cool, and I respect all of them so much.
When you got there and you saw how fast Soderbergh was working, did you talk to Channing Tatum about it at all? Because he's worked with him before.
I did, yeah. He gave me some great advice, which was like, I think the thing in the trailer where I'm talking about the Twitters, I think that line was improvised, and I was just trying to throw out some lines, and I felt weird about doing that because sometimes on sets, they don't want you doing that. It's like, oh no, let's keep the words. And
then if you have a director who's moving really fast.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. So I went up to Channing Tatum and I said, hey, is this guy, you've worked with him before, obviously. Is this okay? Is improv okay? And he's like, dude, just do it. I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission. And I've been trying to carry that forth throughout what I do. Just like, okay, it's better to be like, I'm sorry, than like do something that, it makes it into the movie, maybe,
How did, well, yeah, that's amazing. It didn't just make it into the movie, it made it into the trailer.
Yeah, I remember when I saw the trailer, I'm like, I guess it's in there. I guess it paid off.
Did Soderbergh say anything after you improvised it, or did he just say, great, thanks, we're moving on?
That day, yeah, he was like, great, thanks, moving on. But then throughout throughout the filming of it, can I stand up? 'Cause
Yeah,
this
sure,
is exactly
yeah,
what
go
he
ahead.
would do. Because he would just come up to me or just randomly be passing by thinking about a million things, and then he would just be like, all the Twitters. And then just like, just like mention it to me. So I was like, maybe he liked it if he keeps repeating it to me in odd moments. Yeah.
That's one of those things where I would. He's still kind of making you question whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, I was
because
like, do you like
maybe
it, or
he likes
you?
it, or he's walking by to like continuously embarrass me or something.
Yeah, it's just like, remember when you said all the Twitters? Wasn't great. Moving
Remember
on.
when you thought you were funny? All the Twitters, guy. Like.
You thought you were so great. You weren't. Goodbye. Yeah.
So you improvise though, and he doesn't say like, "Oh, that was so like in the moment." He just moves on.
I think it's like he just knows when he has it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, great, moving on. I think that lends itself to how fast it went, and that makes it so much easier on the actors. You know what I mean? It's like you're not. It's not
off-putting at all to not be sort of validated consistently, or are you validated by moving on?
I think I'm validated by moving on. Yeah, definitely. It's like, and I try to get the validation like out of my head. I'm like, I don't need that. Just keep moving on. So I guess when we moved on, I'm like, okay, we got it. It was good. And obviously I trust him because he's so talented and he's Steven Soderbergh. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, who came up to you at a party and said that you were going to be in the next Steven Soderbergh movie?
It was, oh my God, it was
someone that worked on the movie.
It was somebody that worked on the movie. Yeah, I don't want to out him.
No, that's
yeah,
okay. That's
but
okay.
but it was just so weird because I was just at this like kind of dumb Hollywood party, and then just it seemed like a thing out of a movie where it's like, hey kid, you're going to be in pictures. Like it seemed like that, so I was like, there's no way. I've been lied to before. There's no way this is happening. But then, hey, now I believe it.
I just think it's amazing. And then you called your manager, and your manager's like, "Oh, I have no idea. Let me check."
He's like, "I have no clue, but I'll check." Like that also amazed me. Is that he's like, "I'll check." Like it's like I'll just check. I'll check in on it.
Like he's on top of it, but wasn't on top of it at all.
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, he doesn't audition people. I've heard like Soderbergh. So it's like it's always kind of a mystery, like who, you know what I mean? So I think it always kind of happens through these weird channels.
He doesn't audition people.
Yeah, or he very rarely does. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah.
But it gets results. I mean, look at it. He's so.
Yeah.
He's him again. He's Steven Soderbergh.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What do you have? You have another movie coming out soon too, right?
Yeah,
what's going on?
I have a movie. There's a film I did called Tragedy Girls. I played South by Southwest. I think there's gonna be a trailer pretty soon. Comes out October 20th, I think. It's like a horror comedy where you follow these two teenage girls, and there's a serial killer, and they are the serial killers, and you follow them the whole time. Yeah, it's really gory, really funny, and I can't wait for people to see it.
Are you a horror fan? Is that what led you to do it?
Yes, I'm a horror fan. And the guy that directed it is like a friend of mine, and he's so talented. His name's Tyler McIntyre, and he's so good at that. There's a lot of practical effects in the movie too, which is awesome.
Yeah, I got really tired of the sort of CGI wounds.
CGI
in
blood is hard to watch sometimes. Yeah. It's just like it looks too. Yeah, doesn't look right.
I remember the first time I saw The Departed, which is a movie everybody loves, and it's all CGI blood instead of squibs. And I remember being it's a great movie, but so disappointed by.
I got to rewatch that and look out for the effects. Yeah, no, it's a lot of. We had a lot of fake blood on set for that one. Yeah.
Are you? I guess we can't ask if you get murdered in it because that would give something away.
No, you can't ask that.
Well, not ask.
And how dare you?
I apologize.
Okay.
Let's get some questions from our audience here. Who has a question? Right here.
Hi.
Hey.
So I was just wondering, being part of like such an ensemble cast in this movie, was there a particular moment that was like really like funny or just like interesting, something that happened on set?
Yeah.
Any pranks?
No pranks really. But it's like there was a moment where I think again in that scene, a lot of stuff happened on the All the Twitters day for me. Again in that scene, in the middle of a take where it was coverage on Channing and Adam, I really had to fart. I really had to fart bad, and I'm in my head. I'm like, I'm not gonna fart now in front of these people. It's their coverage. I'm not gonna distract them, and I did, and it was audible. It was one of those like. It was like the question mark one. And, you know, the farts that ask questions. And I could...
You get the farts that ask and then answer?
Yeah,
Like,
there was no answer on this one. Just an open-ended, just kind of food for thought. But I could see it on their faces that they heard it, but we had to keep going because there's all these like extras in the background. We'd have to like reset them. And it's Steven Soderbergh. I don't want to make anyone mad. So I really tried to keep it together, but like I could see it on Adam's face. He was like in the middle of a line. He just went like, whoop, Like he heard it, and I was like, oh God. But then the scene is kind of long, so the scene kept going, and there was too much time afterwards to mention it or anything, so it just kind of hung there in the air, like the fact that I'd done it. So guys,
never to be brought up again.
Never to be brought up again until this very moment.
Okay.
So I'm glad you asked that question.
To our editors, clip that, put it online, headline it, and he farted in front of them.
Yeah, it's just
viral gold.
I tried so hard not to let it slip, and then it happened. It was not good. Not a great day for me. But
how has it not come up? How did no one say anything to you?
Because enough time had passed to where I think it was like, because if the scene cut right after that, people would be like, hey, remember when you farted? Right. And it would have been appropriate. But like there was more scene. I farted right in the beginning of this take. Like the whole take might have been ruined because of me. So it was enough time had passed to where I don't think anybody really quite wanted to mention it, but I could see it on everybody's faces like that happened. And that was you, unmistakably. That came from you.
I wonder if Steven went up to Channing and Adam and was like, great take, except for when Jack farted.
Yeah, I bet that did happen. I bet that did.
Let's get another question right here.
Hi. So how was your first day shooting on set with the rest of the cast? Because since this is a Steven Soderbergh movie, was there like any intimidation that you had in your head? And also, did you get to have any scenes with Seth MacFarlane?
I unfortunately didn't get to have any scenes with Seth MacFarlane. No, I was there. I think I flew in from filming Tragedy Girls, and I was there that day. I watched one scene where he was on set, and I got to meet him, but I never got to film with him. I was very intimidated. I was really nervous. I mean, you have all these people, and I was like, and I didn't even think that I was really the guy they wanted. I thought it was a mistake. So yeah, I was extremely nervous, but everybody was just so nice and so accommodating, and I eventually just felt so welcome. So yeah, I got over it fast just because everybody was just like the best.
What was more, were you in the pilot for Vinyl?
I was in the pilot,
You
yes.
were in the pilot. What was more nerve-wracking, getting on something like this or doing Vinyl with Scorsese?
Oh my God. I think Vinyl with Scorsese only because it was like just a thing that happened earlier in my career where I was more nervous about things. But I was still nervous about this as well. I just think maybe I had more experience on set. Maybe that helped me a little bit, but still, it was like, that's Channing Tatum. That's amazing. Oh no, I'm in this movie. So yeah, there was a little bit of that going on.
I think it's time for one more question.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. My question is, because you said you went to NYU in the beginning of the interview, is there something you took from NYU and you brought it into the film?
Ooh, great question. Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, I was in Tisch. I went to ETW. And they kind of had like a lot of different kind of different methods that you could study. What I really liked from NYU though is it was a mishmash for me of methods, and I got to kind of pick and choose. And I think the thing that I learned from that is like just find what works for you. And I know that like. And that can change per project. Like you don't have to stick with one thing, no matter what you do. And I really like that because for this one, it was just like, just relax on this one. You play a character who does not think at all, so you can just relax. And then other ones I've had to do, something more Meisnery or something, of another method. But yeah, I think it's just pick and choose depending on the project. That's what I took away from it. Yeah. Definitely.
Jack, the movie's fantastic. I love it. It's super funny.
Thank you.
You are very, very, very funny in it.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
man.
It opens this Friday, right?
Yes.
Nationwide?
Yes. Nationwide.
Excellent.
Yep. I'm getting the okay from my publicist. Yes, right. Nationwide. Got it.
I need to get a publicist right there that can do that for me as well.
Okay,
when
great.
I start
We're both
doing
getting
it.
the okays.
Yeah. It's all good? Okay,
good.
great.
Great.
Jack Quaid, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, Jack.
Thank you.